morning. This is Gifty Etc. at giftyetc.blogspot.com. Today I thought that we would talk about Christmas planning. Now, last year for Christmas planning, I used a separate book, and you can see last year's Christmas plan right here. But this year, I'm going to plan in my planner. Here's the reason. My planner is always with me. I don't leave the house without my planner. I don't buy a purse that doesn't fit my planner. So it makes sense that I would want to put my Christmas planning in my planner. The other thing is I looked at last year's planning and it only took up about 5 pieces of paper. Sure, there are other things I had to plan like Christmas parties that might have taken up an extra piece of paper. But the actual amount of paper used in planning wasn't very much. So I decided to go ahead and put Christmas in my planner this year. Now, I don't make a special section for Christmas planning in the sense that I go ahead and follow the system that I already have in place that's working for me. If you have systems in place that work for you, for example, a Christmas binder, obviously go with the system that works for you. But if you don't, I think the system will give you a lot of insight into how to plan for Christmas. So if you're familiar with my planner videos, you know that I basically have 3 main parts to my planner. I have projects. Projects are active things that I am planning right now. Christmas planning, I would say, is one of these projects. It's something that I'm actively working on from the beginning of November until the end of the year. Obviously, I also have a calendar section where I keep my monthly appointments. Any appointments go into my monthly calendar, and my weekly task lists and due dates. Anything else goes into my weekly calendar. And then I have a final section for filing, and I call that my notes section. And this is for anything that is not currently active. Right now we're going to kind of focus on the project section because that's where Christmas planning is going to take place. It's active planning, and you see if I go down to right here, I have Christmas listed on there. Now, I also have a page marker over here in the X category, and I went ahead and did a green because Christmas you sort of go with red or green, right? And so I did a green page marker, and you can see that I've already started a Christmas section. Note that here in the top corner, I write the topic of the project, the name of the project that's going to be on the index. And then I start to write things that I've already purchased for my children. Down here, I've started a list of people that I need to send Christmas gifts to or buy Christmas gifts for. If you look on the next page, I have my kids' wish list, things they're telling me that they would like to have for Christmas, and also some ideas for each of my children that my husband and I have considered buying for them. Finally, I have a page of ideas for my husband. Now, I have a do not peek sticker, and I'm not going to show you what's on his list, but this way if he is looking through my planner, which he will tend to do at Christmas time to look at the kids' list, he doesn't accidentally see what I'm thinking about purchasing for him. There are other things that can go into this section of your planner. One thing that I like is a wish list. I currently am keeping my wish list on Amazon, but if I think of something and I'm not at my computer, I will go ahead and make a wish list right here that I can add to my computer whenever I get home. There's some other things that were in last year's Christmas planner. You can see I just used a Moleskine notebook last year that I will be using this year. So one of the things I did is I coded what kind of paper I wrapped the kids' Christmas gifts in. I actually used paper with Santa Claus on it for Santa gifts and paper without Santa Claus on it for all my other gifts. So you can see right here for my child Loki, I used all of the green kind of Santa Claus paper, and I just put samples of the paper right here. That way when Santa wraps the presents, Santa doesn't have to write everyone's name on the presents, and Santa's handwriting will not be ratted out or figured out by the children. You'll see my other son had sort of darker green colors and more antique kind of Christmas wrap, and I have his name right here. I put into my planner, I knew where it was all the time. I do have a list of Christmas gifts that I gave to my husband and some other ideas as well as part of his wish list written right here. And I will do that again this year. I just haven't started shopping for him yet. I have a list of all the things I shopped for last Christmas and all the ideas that I had. These sort of things will stay in my planner. I will take last year's list and use it to make a new list for this year. So that's going to be my first step in Christmas planning, is to just take the things that I kept, and I kept this in files separate from my planner because it's not something I had to have in my hands all year long. And when I do take this Christmas project out, I'm not going to put it in my notes. I'll go ahead and file it away for next year so that I have that list already made. Just a little trick that I do. So here's the key question and the trick to being able to do your Christmas planner right here in your project section. Things like how you're going to decorate your house can go in here. A list of Christmas traditions actually might be more appropriate for your notes or file section. And the reason I say that is because you may think of these all year long. So a list of Christmas traditions would go in your notes or file section. Any elf on the shelf stuff I do, I will have a list here in the planner of what things I do so that next year I know not to repeat those things. Any appointments will go ahead and go in my monthly tabs. Now that might seem like it doesn't quite make sense, but I need to know when Christmas is coming up, and I need to know what activities we're doing for Christmas at the same time that I know about everything else that's happening in December, right? And so by making a Christmas project, that's just a place to keep track of the things that are ongoing, like buying gifts, decorating the house, elf on the shelf, a menu for Christmas dinner. But all of the events, anything that's going to happen, like the children will be off of school for Christmas, mother-in-law might come to town for Christmas, all of those things go in the system that is already working for me right here on my monthly calendar pages. If I put it elsewhere, I would have to worry about missing something. On my weekly pages, I am going to put deadlines. So right here on Monday the 23rd, I'm probably going to put that all Christmas presents are due. And I apologize because I'm writing upside down, but I write the word due with 2 lines under it. I put the date that all of these gifts will be due, which is 12/24 or Christmas Eve. And then I write down what is due, and that is all of my Christmas presents. Now, of course, in the project section, I already have a list of the Christmas presents that I'll be purchasing. But here in the weekly section is where I keep track of things so that I never miss them. And having this due date reflected right here means that I can make sure that everything I list on my Christmas project page is actually purchased and wrapped on time. I hope this helps you to make a Christmas or holiday planner for this year's holidays. My name is Gifty Etc. at giftyetc.blogspot.com.